Somewhere within the depths of the Ural Mountains lies an unsettling mystery. This mystery began on February 1, 1959, when 9 skilled hikers disappeared mysteriously. Imagine a group of youthful adventurers, bundled up against the freezing temperatures, eager to embrace the wilderness. They were lively and filled with joy. Yet, just days later, their bodies were discovered, sparking numerous questions. What took place that fateful evening? What compelled them to escape their tent into the freezing air? The explanations continue to elude us, haunting our thoughts. The first thing you need to understand is that these were not unprepared people who wandered into something they couldn't handle. Igor Dyatlov was 23. He'd been leading winter mountain expeditions for years. He built some of his own equipment. His friends thought he was one of the best outdoorsmen in the region. Zinaida Kolmogorova was 22. By every account, fearless on a mountain. Rustam Slobodin, Yuri Doroshenko, Yuri Krivonishenko, all experienced, all in their early 20s, all used to brutal conditions. Lyudmila Dubinina was 20. The youngest woman. She would become the most disturbing figure in what the autopsies later showed. Then there was Semyon Zolotaryov. 38, older than the rest by 15 years. Military veteran. Had climbed across the Soviet Union. Why someone with his background joined a university student group for a trek classified at the highest civilian difficulty level is a question that's never been satisfactorily answered. Some investigators think he was there for reasons beyond the hike. Nobody's proven it. The 10th member was Yuri Yudin. He got sick on the first few days and turned back. That decision saved his life. He spent the next 50 years trying to understand why. These individuals were not novices. They were led by Igor Dyatlov, accompanied by his experienced friends, remarkable athletes ready for a challenge. Tragically, their journey took a disastrous turn at a location ominously named Dead Mountain. In late January, they arrived at Mount Autopsy. However, on February 1st, they made the perplexing choice to camp on a bare slope as the weather deteriorated. Why did they not find refuge in the nearby trees? This question remains unanswered. As twilight descended over the Ural Mountains, the air turned frigid, brushing against the hikers' faces as they stirred uncomfortably in their tents. Igor Dyatlov, ever the responsible leader, made a decision that would haunt them all. He called for a group meeting, hoping to gather consensus on their next steps. With earnest voices, they debated their options, but the allure of adventure held strong in their hearts, overshadowing the whisper of danger lurking just beyond their campsite. As the campfire crackled, illuminating their youthful faces, laughter filled the air, masking the dread that crept silently. They shared stories of previous hikes. Each tale spun a web of camaraderie, igniting their spirits. But beneath this light-hearted facade, a palpable tension lingered. Igor glanced at his friends, noting the fatigue etched in their brows, yet their determination shone bright. Perhaps they could venture one last challenge before heading down, he thought. What do you all say? A quick ascent before the storm? He proposed, his voice laced with encouragement. As eyes lit up, they unwittingly sealed their fate, unaware of the horrors that awaited them in the depths of the mountains. As the night deepened, the wind howled with increasing ferocity, wrapping around the campsite like a dark shroud. Igor's heart raced with excitement, but a nagging feeling of unease clawed at his mind. "All right, everyone, let's rest up for the climb tomorrow," he called out, trying to exude confidence. They gathered their belongings and crawled into their sleeping bags and slept. Each hiker fell into a restless sleep, unaware of the night's sinister turn. Minutes stretched into hours, and shadows danced beneath the faint glow of the stars. Suddenly, a piercing scream shattered the silence, igniting a primal fear within the hearts of the campers, compelling them to act instinctively. In that moment of pure terror, the hikers sprang into action, instinctively grabbing for their gear as the chilling sound echoed around them. Eyes wide with fear, they scrambled from their sleeping bags, confusion blending with adrenaline. What was that? Someone gasped, each breath visible in the freezing air. Igor, still disoriented, rallied his friends with a commanding presence, urging them to stay calm despite the chaos. The tent's walls felt suffocating as they fumbled to cut their way out. Each frantic heartbeat matched the chorus of the howling wind outside, propelling them toward the unknown that awaited them in the bitterness of the dark. As they finally tore open the tent, a sense of dread washed over them, cloaked in the silence of the snow-covered landscape. "We need to regroup," Igor shouted, trying to steer them toward the familiar warmth of the fire that flickered amidst the shadows. Yet, the cold was biting, threatening to engulf them completely, and the chilling sensation of being watched tugged at their instincts, intensifying their fears. The silence pressed down on them, suffocating, creating a haunting atmosphere. As they looked around, their hearts raced, sensing that whatever had driven them from their tent was waiting just beyond sight, ready to unravel the only reality they knew. "Quick, this way!" Igor shouted over the howling wind, leading friends toward the campfire. Panic surged through their veins, urging them to move swiftly, yet confusion hung thick in the air. As they converged around the flickering flames, faces masked with fear betrayed the emotional turmoil weighing heavily upon them. What could have caused that scream? The fire crackled weakly, casting long shadows that flickered ominously across their faces. Igor scanned the woods, his instinct telling him something was wrong. "Stay alert," he ordered, biting back his wavering confidence as anxiety gripped him. They huddled closer, each whisper echoing their collective fear, unsure if the true horror lay within the darkness or inside their own minds. The hikers realized that their dire situation had only just begun. The mountain, silent and imposing, loomed overhead, offering them no solace, only the echo of the unexplainable mystery that awaited them. On February 12, when the group failed to return, a search began. Upon discovering their tent, rescuers found it slashed open from the inside, with 9 eerie footprints leading away. Some people were barefoot while others wore only socks. Over the years, numerous theories emerged regarding their fate. Although an avalanche was the official explanation, skepticism persists since no signs of snowslides were present at their campsite. Forensic experts also observed that certain injuries resembled those inflicted in severe car accidents, suggesting more sinister circumstances than a simple fall. Additionally, the absence of clear answers is disconcerting. Autopsy findings revealed alarming injuries, fractures too extreme for the conditions they endured. One hiker, Ludmila Dubinina, had her tongue removed, while another was missing his eyes. Were these caused by scavengers, or was there a more sinister reason behind them? Some clothing showed traces of radiation. Eyewitness accounts also described unusual lights in the sky on that fateful night. Were those lights a sign of something dangerous, or could they represent something more extraordinary? Some theorized that military experiments might have played a role. Malfunctions during live exercises could have led to the release of toxic materials. Others point to infrasound, an unseen frequency that induces anxiety and confusion. This could explain their desperate flight from the tent, but it does not clarify the gruesome injuries. There's no confirmed record of a launch failure that night at that location. But the relevant Soviet military archives still haven't been fully opened. And Lev Ivanov told people privately he was instructed not to look into those spheres. You don't suppress an investigation into something unless the something matters. Infrasound. What about those glowing orbs in the sky? Could they be related to atmospheric events or even extraterrestrial encounters? While many dismiss this notion, it continues to cling to the mystery. Over 60 years later, numerous investigations have been opened and closed, leaving us with incomplete explanations. Families of the deceased seek justice, raising the question, why was crucial evidence mishandled? The lost tent, an essential clue, has vanished. As we reflect on these events, we struggle to uncover the truth. This is not just the story of 9 lives lost, but a narrative filled with lingering questions. Each theory only reveals further uncertainty. Yuri Yudin, the one who came home, gave his last interview before he died in 2013. Someone asked if he thought he'd ever find out what happened to his friends. He was quiet for a moment. Then he said, "I think about them every day." Was it fast? Did they know what was happening? I don't know. Some things are just not meant to be known. If this story piqued your interest, we invite you to join our community. Like, share, and subscribe for more explorations into remarkable mysteries. Comment, Diet Love, if you desire more narratives like this. Together, we can continue to explore history's darkest enigmas.